Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are back again with another semiconductor industry professional, Kailash Prasad. Kailash is a PMRF, Prime Minister Research Fellow at IIT Gandhinagar. He completed his PhD in electrical engineering and is working in ARM currently. So he's also passionate about teaching VLSI and microelectronics to students. So let's take this opportunity and hear it from him. So over to you, Kailash. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, thank you, Swati, for inviting me. Uh, all the informations are correct, actually. So I'm currently a design engineer at ARM Embedded Technologies Private Limited. Prior to that, I was a PhD scholar at IIT Gandhinagar. I am yet to defend my thesis. Okay, so so technically, I have not completed my PhD. However, I've submitted that. Um, Apart from that, just few information I want to share. I did my BTech from NIT Arunachal Pradesh, right, far northeast, and I have done my BTech in electronics and communication engineering over there. And after that, I directly joined PhD at IIT Gandhinagar, right? Few information about that because it's a PhD directly after after BTech, right? So that's not so easy usual, but currently actually it has become a norm in India. People are doing PhD after BTech, and why IIT Gandhinagar? It was a very special institute because they have this start early PhD program where what they do is they hire BTech from top institutes like NIT, triple ITs, right, and select institute right after BTech. So the interview happens in 7th semester itself, and there are monetary benefit also. They pay you 10,000 extra, right? So that's how I got into the PhD program.
Now let's move into RTL design. Like from your right from your research to what you're working, you've always been in the RTL design uh, front of the VLSI industry, right? So we just wanted to know what is your insight on RTL design? What makes you so passionate about RTL design? I myself am working in RTL design, so I just wanted to know like what is
Okay,
making
so
you stay in RTL design and kind of what is getting you the interest in RTL design? What do you look forward from in career perspective in RTL design?
okay. So, okay, designing was one of the things which I think comes natural to me. Why? Because I was a programmer in my BTech, okay? I was not a circuit design engineer. So I have done a lot of competitive programming and I wanted to get into Microsoft or Amazon or any of this top, uh, what do you say, software company, right? But the thing is, when I went into the VLSI domain, right? When I started doing courses, so in my first semester, I've done, I think, physics of transistors. That is a basic devices course. VLSI design, which is the design course. Apart from that, I have actually done this computer architecture, operating system, and computer networks also in the first semester itself. Right. Along with that, we had a course on one course on TCAT, right? So when I used to do all the courses, right, the design part was coming natural to me because it was more of the logic based, right? It was not what you say physics based, right? The first focus was on logic, right? If you have a very good understanding of logic, you can crack into RTL design, right? But obviously if you get deep into it, you actually have a lot of different nuances, right? And that actually makes what you say, right, you more inclined towards the design kind of topic, right? And when I have started reading research paper and all, right, there are a lot of challenges which actually comes with the design, right? So when I talk about RTL design, it's not only about the Verilog. I have actually done the full custom because that's what for memory design and do the digital design flow, right? And in I think both of them, there are what you say, right? If you want to say implement something, right, it's the first step. You have to design the specification and you have to design the RTL itself, right? And if the RTL has been designed properly and correctly, then you go to the next stages, right? And that's how I think I was naturally inclined to the design stuff. However, in my PhD, when you do the tape out and all, right, you have to go through the entire flow, right? So RTL is equally important, but the backend becomes again equally important, where you actually do the layouts and everything. In the work which I'm doing at ARM also, right, we are actually, what you say, right, it is preferred backend along with the design. Okay, so because now what happens in the most advanced technology node, if you want to do optimization, you cannot only do with the RTL, right? You have to think from the backend perspective also, right? Okay, what kind of optimization you can do in the layouts and all. And it so happened that the layout benefit, the optimization in layout benefit is much more than investing time in the RTL in many of the technology nodes, right? So it doesn't mean that RTL is not important. RTL is always important, right? The first step is that innovation first actually comes in RTL, right? So you have to come up with different logics, like just like what I am done in memory computing, right? You are changing the logic itself, right? When I design the puff and all, you're changing the logic itself, changing the memory design itself, right? And in approximate circuit also, right, when you design approximate adders, multipliers and all, right, you change the circuit itself. And if you want to do that, okay, how do you do that? You change the RTL, right? So that's how yeah, I have been doing the design through my PhD, and I'm also doing here itself in the arm, right?
So next is like, I wanted to ask, what are the different things an RTL designer or a VLSI designer can do? Like, what are the different kind of job roles or job tasks that an RTL designer does? Like, maybe you said memory design, RTL design, normal, the digital IC design. And then where all
Yes.
does this extend?
Yes, yes. So I think design engineer is one of the roles where you actually do the RTL of, say, if you are a processor company, right? So there will be lot of things which you will be designing, right? From the processor to the, what you say, peripherals, like the protocols and everything. You'll be designing all of this. If you talk about the memory, which is a full custom flow, you'll be designing the SRAM memory and all. There are other design where you actually design the memory, but we talk about the DRAM memories, right? So like the company Micron and Samsung, where you'll be designing the DRAM memories, or the memory controllers will be, I think, the more apt for it. Memory controller will be one of the domains where you'll be actually utilizing your RTL skills, right? So I think at every company which actually works in VLSI design, right? So you will have your RTL stuff, right? So if you have a hardware accelerator company, the first step is you design the define the architecture, and you will design the logic using, say, Verilog. I think Verilog and the system Verilog, or what you say, BlueSpec, are the first go-to languages to design this, so that you can get into any of these roles, right? And if you have an understanding of full custom design, you can get into the memory design role, which actually is more of full custom rather than the digital design,
Mm.
right? So there are ample amount of roles which are available in the RTL design, right? So I think I have answered your question, right?
Yeah, and this is just a question I wanted to ask you because mostly when we work in the industry, it's mostly kind of taken existing architectural code, add features, or maybe kind of an interconnect from the top level. So I was more interested to go deep into design into some of the IPs. So I'm kind of finding it hard to find jobs related to these, like where you go deep into one IP and try to add on to the design or do something kind of a research and get deep into one design. It's usually from the top level how you integrate someone's design, how you add features. So, what do you say, suggest? Like, how can I go into this?
No, the thing is, one if you get inside one particular topic, right? So obviously it becomes very narrow,
Hmm.
right? And it's very difficult to get a job in only one particular domain. The thing is, you need to have the, what you say, the broader skills, like the design skills, and you start enhancing that when you actually project your skills, you should not project that okay, I have worked on this particular IP, rather than you project okay, what are the learnings from that particular design, right? Okay, how do you design that, right? How do you verify that? And what kind of what you say, the difficulties which arises while designing that, because those difficulty will remain same irrespective of the IP whatever you're designing, right? And in that manner, actually, it will actually what you say, right, make you more industry relevant, right?
Mm.
Getting inside one particular topic, right? You can do innovations and all in that particular domain, but don't forget to have a broader perspective and broader understanding and all, right? So in my PhD also, although I have got inside what you say, the in-memory computing aspect of it, but I have taken care that okay, I understand the full memory subsystem, right? And all the other domains or whatever the things which is required to design the entire memory IP, I should have an understanding,
Mm.
right? So despite going or doing innovation in one particular topic which has resulted into publications and all, right, I had taken sure that okay, I actually covered the entire aspect of it, right? So in my spare time, I used to design the write assist, the read assist, which are actually integral part of memory design, right, which may not have resulted in publication, right, but the understanding of that has actually resulted into cracking the interview of the right? Or all the companies which I have given the interview, right? So all the companies I have cracked the interviews uh, only because the entire understanding which I had, right? So industry as what you say, right? I had discussion with directors of all these companies, right? And they want guys who can actually expand. Right. Okay. You can have a very detailed skill, but you should always be open to more collaboration, and you can collaborate only if you have an understanding of that particular domain, right? If you want to work with layout engineer, you have to have an understanding of layout, right? If you want to get inside one IP, you go inside, right? So that's the thing. But just keep in mind that okay, all the other IPs which are available, you should have an understanding of that also, right? If one time, okay, if I say that okay, you implement that one, okay, you can quickly switch into the other mode and like, you can do an implementation. Although if somebody will say whatever the IP you have actually get into detail, if somebody will ask that okay, you design that, or you what you say, right, make innovation, that you are an expert in it, right? You will do that. But for the others also, you should have a good understanding. There is a what you say, now the proverb has changed that you should be master in one and jack of all. Okay. So first it was right, master in one and jack of none, but jack of all, right? So you should have a detailed understanding of everything with a master in one, and this all the other stuffs, right, in which you are good,
Mm.
not expertise, but you are good, right, will help you being relevant in the industry and get a job.
Like you said, since you had the experience on full RTL to GDS optimization, you could think that even though I didn't finish the entire optimization in RTL, you could think of insights where backend would have done the optimization. If you had not had the full perspective, then it would not be possible to think that optimization can be done throughout. It's just a minor thing that you knew the entire flow helped in significantly, right? You could actually imagine where all it could get optimized.
Exactly. So that was my, I think, goal from very first domain. And the thing was, not only this holds true for RTL to GTS. In my PhD, if I talk about, right, so I just want to talk about a couple of things, if time permits.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the thing is, I have taken courses right from the basic material science, right, or what you say, basic physics, to full machine learning and computer architecture, right? So if I tell you that I have taken courses on physics of two-dimensional materials, which is one of the new materials which will be coming, physics of transistor, to VLSI design, IC design. So this will be the second step, right? And then in the next step, we have computer architecture, operating system, computer networks, and then we have machine learning, computer vision. So the entire ranges of courses I have taken during my PhD. Why? Because the thing is, you design an hardware, now you need an application for that. Right. So if you do not have an understanding of machine learning, and how do you design an hardware for machine learning? Right. Similarly, if you do not have an understanding of computer vision, how can you design or a hardware for computer vision, which And the thing is, you can actually give more suggestions to the computer vision guys or ML guys. Okay, this kind of optimization you can also do at the software level, right? Such that and hardware software co-optimization can be done, right? Which is one of the topics I have worked with my friend Glint, right? So one my the colleague, he used to do the high level stuff, the software part, the architecture part. I used to do the circuit design part, and we somehow what you say collaborated together in couple of works, right? Which has actually resulted into great research, right? One of the papers got published in ASP DAC, one of the best paper nomination it was, right? And it was a collaborative effort because we designed the hardware, right? And then he has done the system level analysis, and we see that whatever gain we were expecting at the hardware level, at the system level, it was much more, which was counterintuitive. If we did not had that infrastructure, we would not have known, right? So yeah, in that perspective, you should have a wider understanding of the different domains, right? If you are talking about RTL to GDS, full RTL to GDS, and get an expertise in one, right? Because that will be your role, but you should have a wider understanding. Okay, and this holds true for other domains also, right? If you want to explore, I write a lot of things about different topics. The only reason I could write because I have explored those many topics, right? The best thing happened at Nano DC Lab was because all of these topics people are working at Nano DC Labs. We were 12 to 15 PhD students, and everybody is working different topics. And whenever we go for a tea or something, that I used to ask, "What are you working on?" Right, and that's how your knowledge base start increasing. Right, and then you go back and you read research paper on that particular topic, and then you can ask more intelligent questions. Right, and slowly it will actually enhance your knowledge in that particular domain along with whatever you're working on.
Right now that you're working in the industry, how would you manage time to do the research also? Like you obviously would do continuously, you'd be thinking about new stuff, doing new. So how do you think that even though you're working in an industry, how can you put time for research? Because at industry, the timelines, everything is hectic. So
Yeah, so okay, yeah, that is true that the industrial requirements are more stringent, timelines are more strict, right? However, I like to do research, right? So that's the reason. One of the things which I have done is I have recently shared a post, right? If you remember, that I'll be sharing the research, whatever that is been going on, such that people are more aware about the research which has been going on in the VLSI. Everybody talks about the job and what are the skills you require. Nobody talks about research, right? And because I have that perspective both from industry, right? So I wanted to share that. And there was a specific reason because if I have promised something, right, then I have to go back and do the research, right? Although I have worked in couple of domains, uh, but still, because if you are posting about something, many of the topics I used to post, right? You have to read at least 5 to 6 research papers, right? Watch video lectures, right? And then you go to generative AI, also ask couple of questions that, okay, what do you mean by this? And how do I explain in a very simplified manner? And and what it does, it actually keeps me updated to the latest industry trend, right? That's one thing. The second thing is many of the companies actually provides you opportunity to do innovation, right? ARM is one of that kind of company where it is always encouraged that, okay, you can, if you can do innovations, it will be extremely it will be rewarded also, right? And it will be extremely good, right? Can result into patents and all, right? So that's the second aspect, but those kind of innovations will be more aligned to what you are doing in the industry. But if you want to keep a track of all the domains which you are going on, you have to do these kind of things, right? So every day or two, I read at least 2 or 3 research papers, right, in night time and all, and such that, okay, I'm updated with the research, whatever that is being going on, because at any time it can happen that I'm switching from SRAM to any other memory device, and if I don't know about that particular device, right, I'll be lagging behind by that many months as compared to other people, right? And I do not want to do that, right? So So the thing is, whenever any proceeding comes from any of the top conferences like ISCC, DAC, DATE, SP DAC, these are the top ISCAS, right? So here all the these latest advancement are presented, and you read at this whenever you get time. It's not like that, okay, it's hard and fast that okay, you read 2 or 3 research paper a day, but whenever you get time, you take one out and you start reading it, right? And I think now there are very good websites and all semi engineering, and I think e-times on all, they explain the research in very simplified manner, just to give you brief snippet of all the proceedings of this top conferences, right? In that manner, you keep what you say, right, being updated. And I try to be connected with Nano DC Lab at IIT Gandhinagar, such that okay, you know what is being going on. Start always talk with students, right, who are there, who I have worked with, right. Many of the projects are still going on, and on that manners, actually, you keep being updated. But the thing is, you need to find new innovative ways to being updated, right? Despite having an stringent timeline requirement. So whenever you get time, you do research, read research paper. It actually helps you to come up with innovation in whatever role you're working on also, right? So that's the blueprint which I have.
It was actually nice talking to you. You believe in collaborating and communicating to enhance your skills also and to learn new things also. That's really great. Like you
Yeah.
talk to people and you help people, you teach people, and meanwhile you also learn new things, right? That's how
Yeah,
you
exactly.
also broaden your perspective of the industry and gain your knowledge and share your knowledge. So that motive of yours is really good. And even in your post, you mostly, even though at first glance it'll be like high level, but you kind of put forward basics of what something new that no one actually knows. Some research topic only you do post regularly. So though someone who reads it doesn't know it, at least they get to know that there is something like this and they get to start reading on it. So I actually do follow your posts a lot, so I kind of felt very interesting. That's why when I asked you to share your experience, I was like, he'll be really busy. I don't think he'll be ready. So, so thank
No, so
you.
today is Saturday, right? So I was a bit free, right? I
Mm.
just want to maybe give my concluding statement and all, right? One of the thing which the thing I've started sharing post in January, I think last year. The idea was very simple, right? So I was having discussion with, I think, one of my student, Alok. He is currently in TI. That okay, whatever these things I talk, this knowledge was only shared with IITG and students for last 4 or 5 years, right? And should I share this with everybody? This is I am thinking. And they were like, okay, yeah, you should, right? People will appreciate, right? All the students were like, okay. And then I have shared my very first post, right? And it became a hit. Everybody was started liking and commenting and all. And I was like, okay, people appreciate knowledge being shared. And then I've started consistently sharing the knowledge. Initially, my goal was everybody in IIT Gandhinagar should know VLSI. Now the goal has shifted, right? Everybody in India should know VLSI, right? So I have a very deep of this thing, right? Okay, I want to create a very informed VLSI domain engineers, right? Maybe not, I don't know how do I help, right? By post, it is one of the method, right? By responding to their messages and all, right? Guiding them is another what you say way, right? I cannot respond to everybody because there are a lot of messages and I cannot get time, right? So I'm extremely sorry if you have not got this message from me, but the thing is I will try to respond it whenever I get time. But the idea is very simple, right? You share your knowledge, right? And by sharing this knowledge, I want to create what you say a VLSI army in India, right? Because India is going through this rapid change in semiconductor domain, right? And if you are one who has this kind of detailed understanding, so I've just started industry, right? But there are a lot of veterans in the industry who has a very detailed skills which will be incredibly valuable. There are a lot of PhD scholars across different institute in India and abroad, right, who has a wealth of knowledge, right? If you can share this with everybody, right? This will be extremely helpful for us also, and for all the students who are actually looking forward to get into this kind of industry. Right. So this is an appeal, or what you say, a request to the veterans in the industry, in the academia and all, right? So you try to democratize the VLSI domain. The computer science IT domain is already democratized. The thing is, I can sit inside a room and I can be a computer science expert in a 6 month or a year, right? Just by looking to the online resources. That was not true for VLSI maybe down the line, maybe 5 years before, but now it is becoming true because of so many online resources, but we still want more, right? So I have seen, I think there are a lot of people who are doing that. Kumar Priyadarshini is one of the guys, right? I like his post. I think Sweetie, and she is from Intel, I guess, and a couple of people are there, right? But we need a more of them. We need more of them, right? And I think the Planet Skills is doing their part also in that regards, right? So the kudos to you guys, right? And I hope people will share more knowledge, right? And it will benefit to one and all. Okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
We had the motive of the same thing. Like when we were doing MTech, we had very minimal uh, posts or anything about VLSI industry. So always about IT, always about CS. So even we wanted to share as much as possible, as much as we know, and get information from experienced people, because even we have started fresh. So that was our motive, to put more information and bring more people together. Thanks a lot for agreeing to share your experience. It was really nice
Yeah.
talking to you. I got to learn a lot.